It seems as though tolerance toward the gay community has become more common. You're hearing lots of great stories about people coming out to their families, and their families have been open and accepting. However, there was an unfortunate video that went viral recently featuring a 20-year-old by the name of Daniel Ashley Pierce. Now, he came out to his family in Georgia last October, and when he did, his father was unresponsive. He didn't seem like he was too happy with it, but his stepmother seemed like she was more open-minded and accepting. Well, then all of a sudden they did something that he referred to as a delayed intervention, and the outcome was less than accepting. It was actually pretty terrible, and we have a video to show you guys that kind of gives you a sense of how horrible his family actually is and what they did to him. This is kind of difficult to watch, so I want to give you some warning, but with that said, let's take a look.
Daniel, I want to tell you before I say anything else that I love you. Now, I know that you're not going to believe that, but it is true.
Oh, I believe it.
So, and I have known that you were gay since you were a tiny little boy.
Mm-hmm. So you would know at this point it's not a choice.
And you have made a choice.
I have not made a
Evidently,
choice.
from what you've told your daddy.
I have not made a choice. I have not made a choice. I have been, from the moment I come out of my mother's uterus, I have been that way. Probably long before I come out of her uterus. Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, you can deny it all you want to, but I believe in the Word of God, and God creates nobody that way. It's a path that you have chosen to choose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you believe it the way you want to believe it, because I cannot change that.
All right. So that was the grandmother telling him, you chose to be this way. And I think that it kind of reveals and exposes the ignorance that people have toward the gay community, that notion that people decide what their sexual orientation is without stopping to reflect on themselves and whether or not they ever decided what their sexual orientation was. I never sat down and thought, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to be straight, and my first crush is going to be the Indian boy in my kindergarten class named Somyajit. No, it just happened, right? I just realized, oh, I know, seriously. He was such a cutie. But it's what happens. It's not something that you choose, and even if you do choose, right, which I don't actually think happens, who cares? It doesn't impact your life in any negative way whatsoever. It's just something that they don't understand, something that they're afraid of, something that doesn't seem normal to them, so they're going out of their way to hate someone in their own family, their own freaking blood. It's despicable.
Well, and that's part of the point that I think she makes later. It's, I have gay friends, but they're not relatives. So that's the exact point she was trying to make. And I was quoting her verbatim with her accent. I wasn't just making that up. Because that's what she said. You know, it's fine when it's not in my backyard or in my basement or, you know, in my living room, but it's not cool right now.
Yeah.
Not only does she think that you choose, but she acknowledges there that he's been that way since as early as she can remember. She thinks that children, like 2 or 3-year-olds, are thinking, who would I like to have intercourse with someday? I don't think that that's exactly how it works.
First of all, she doesn't know that the baby is gay. She does not know that. That's a lie.
She seems pretty smart.
I mean, that, like I said, toddler, she knew.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for the banana baby food, not the green beans. Gay, totally gay decision. And then, but it says, you're saying that this is an intervention?
Yes, he referred to it as a delayed intervention because he came out last October and it happened only recently. And by the way, the reason why the video went viral is because Dan Savage found it and he drew attention to it, and now people are understandably outraged at the family's response. Now it gets worse. We have 2 more videos for you guys. Let's take a look at the next one.
That you have chosen that path, we will not support you any longer. You will need to move out and find wherever you can to live and do what you want to, because I will not let people believe that I condone what you do.
Okay. Well,
this not
I will be out by Thursday night at midnight. How about that?
All right.
I'll be completely out, and you'll never, ever have to see me again.
If that's the way you choose it, that's fine.
No, that's not what I'm choosing. I'm doing what you're telling me to do, and you're disowning me. So that proves how much of a person you are. Okay. In fact, can I live in your basement since it's your house and you're my mother? Really? So all of that support that you told me about?
Oh, I support you. I don't support what you do.
And we don't
because I
support your
believe in
habit.
what you do.
No.
And I have a lot of friends that are gay, but they're friends.
See?
They're not related.
It makes me so sad. How do you disown a family member over their sexual orientation? And the fact that they refer to it as a habit just makes me cringe, because it's not a habit, it's who he is. Again, like whenever I say that, you know, deeply religious people are ignorant on this issue, not all of them. There are lots of religious people that are very open-minded to this issue, but people like his family members. The reason why I say they're ignorant is because they don't know. Like, either they are willfully ignorant and they have the evidence pointed to them and they refuse to take it. In fact, later on in the video, they're like, we don't care about the scientific evidence. You chose to be gay.
Right.
So even if they're presented the evidence, they decide, no, we're going to say that it's a choice and it's against the Word of God. We don't care about science. We care about the Word of God. That's more important to us than any type of scientific evidence you could throw our way.
Well, and the only choice being made here is the family's choice to be complete fucking animals and not support their child. That's the only choice in this entire, 7-minute interaction?
Yeah.
And they always say that it's a choice, but I mean, it's not like he's not in New York, okay? He's not in San Francisco. Like, he's off in, bumfuck America or whatever. They never explain why you would choose to make that choice when it's obviously apparent to you that your family is not going to support you. They're going to disown you. You're going to be ostracized in the community. It's going to be much harder for you to ever openly love someone or be with someone. Why would you make that choice given the consequences it'll have on your life? They would probably say to piss off God or something like that.
You talk about willfully ignorant. You don't understand, he's just a deviant.
Yeah.
And he's devilish and he has cloven hooves, and that's why he wants to make his life and his family's life that much harder.
Yeah. And one final thing, this reminds me of, we've reported before about like honor killings and beatings and disownings in Africa and the Muslim world when women are raped or something like that. The family will disown them. And the reason that they say that they do it is that they don't want their honor to be besmirched in the community. And they said we don't want other people to think that we condone it. So it's not just that they're disgusted and they want to get rid of him. I could almost understand that on sort of a primal human level. It's that they understand, probably rightly so, that the community is more accepting of a family that callously sends their kid off to possibly starve and die homeless than to allow him to stay and have sex with people that you don't approve of. Like that's more acceptable in that community, should make you want to be disowned from your own community.
Absolutely. We have one last video for you, and this is when things get violent. Take a look.
You say
wait a minute.
none of these people have raised you. You're full of shit. And you told me on the phone that you made that choice. You know you wasn't born that way. You know damn good and well you made that choice. You know that this man has done everything he can to raise you, and you told me right on that damn phone that was a choice you made. He didn't need to blame himself. So don't fill these people full of bullshit, Daniel.
You're twisting my words. You are
twist everybody.
You are a completely different person.
Let me tell you something. You little piece of shit.
No, you're not gonna fucking hit me.
No. You son of a bitch.
Get off me, bitch! Get off me! Let me tell you something. I'm gonna.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Get off of me! What's wrong with you?
You're a damn queer, you
What's
fucking
wrong with you?
You don't tell lies on me, you little piece of shit.
I didn't. I trusted you.
You've never trusted me. You should have more shit with me than anybody.
Hey,
Come here. I'll beat your
I
fucking
claim you
ass.
as my own mother.
listen. Check this out.
What is wrong with you people?
No, what's wrong with you?
No, what is wrong with you people?
What's wrong with you?
No.
You run your mouth on Facebook about me. I've done everything in the world.
I'll be right back.
Everything in the world for you.
I haven't run my mouth about
The
you at
hell
all.
you haven't!
What
Don't
if
tell
I?
me!
What have I
you right
said?
now.
Ashley,
Go get it.
You get
show me. Pull it up on Facebook and you show
I
me.
don't have you on Facebook.
Well, go get
because
her.
You're a disgrace.
I'm not a disgrace.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not. No, I am
Yeah,
not.
you are. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that you are.
Ooh.
Sounds like what good Christian people would do.
Yeah, it might have sounded like the grandmother was just screaming out random things, but I think she was actually quoting from Ezekiel.
Oh, really?
Well, you know what you hear there, though?
No, it's
is-
just crazy
I
fucking
don't know the
babbling.
New
But they
Testament like
believe
you do,
they
John.
believe that they follow the Bible. That's not fucking what Jesus would do.
Yeah.
He wouldn't beat him over the head and then start talking about his social media activity.
What
he
you
would
hear,
accept him
it
and love
has
him.
nothing to do with religion. You hear it in them. These parents think it's that they're led to believe, for some reason, they feel guilty that their son is gay. They feel they've done something to make it happen. I don't know the situation, but certainly the kid isn't helping matters either, because it just seems to be like he's saying it's not a choice, but they're hearing, we did this to you.
Right.
I mean, Dr. Phil could solve that in like 10 minutes in a way where just some professional who just said, hey, it's not your fault. It's not a choice. You guys take the religious beliefs aside, because they're following the script. We know the script. It's a pastor who usually comes in and says, you need to have an intervention. Here's what you need to say. It's a choice. Love the sinner, hate the sin. It's the same script. But the way this story always ends is those parents die, usually alone, without their kids at their bedside, and that kid grows up without a parent to like an extended family to
Right.
share their lives with, and it's really just sad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just
is
bums
sad.
me out to hear that, but that's ignorance in its full
That's exactly
sort of
what it looks like.
just ignorance.
And talk about going from,
Ignorance.
following the script to first I want you to know how much we love you to pummeling this kid. What was that, grandma hitting him?
Yeah.
I mean, she came a long way in 7 minutes. That was
So what
pretty.
happened to the kid now? Like, where is he?
So he was disowned by his family. He was living with them. So at this point, I think it's safe to assume that he is either staying with a friend or has no place to stay. So as a result, the online community got together and they're trying to help him out. So the video had more than 700,000 views as of Thursday afternoon. A GoFundMe campaign was set up to help raise money to cover Pierce's living expenses. By Thursday, it had collected more than $19,000. Every once in a while, man, you hear stories like this, and you see how they end, and you see how a community gets together to help a kid out, and it makes you feel really good. And I'm so proud of those people for setting up that, that site and donating the money and helping him. And I hope that he has a bright future. And it's really sad when your family disowns you like that. But it's better off to not have to deal with them than live in a home where they think that you've made a choice and that you're, going to burn in,
They sound
eternal
really smart.
damnation
They
for
sound
it.
like really smart people. I'm sure they're pretty ignorant on a whole host of other issues, which would also basically justify the kid running away from his parents anyway.
Well, and
You
that's
should probably get the fuck out of there.
Oh, and I think he's
Forget
22.
the gay
He
part.
should have done that
You
a long time
people
ago.
are idiots. I have to get out of here.
Well, and-
His straight brother is like, yeah, I'm going to.
And he even said,
I'm gay too. I'm
I
gay.
go?
Can I get out of here?
he was quoted as saying, like, I woke up a little late today and I thought the worst part of my day was going to be that I was 20 minutes late to work. I could have never, ever thought that this was coming when I walked out of my bedroom door.
Especially when he came out last October, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a warm response,
Yeah.
but he didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked on Twitter this morning. From what it says on Twitter, it looks like they're up to over $50,000.
That's freaking awesome.
crap.
That's great.